What's up YouTube, Jay Traveling here, and today I finally have it for you. Boom, my RTX 3080 is finally on a rig. I've had it for over a week now and just haven't had a place to put it. Mainly because if you look at my old risers here, this is what I was using, and they're all SATA powered and Molex powered. So I didn't want to put my 3080 on there. I've heard them burning them out. I know these aren't really that safe to use. So I'm slowly getting rid of those and switching over. I have risers on order for my 5600 XT rig, and I have more than I'm ordering for my 30 series cards. As you saw, my 3060 rig, that's on the board, so that's fine. So in this, I actually have the 3080 on my test bench, not on a riser. It's actually on the board, and I'll show you that in a second. But I am slowly getting away from those, but I did benchmark it finally. I do have it on nicehash. I don't plan on keeping it on there that long, but it's on there right now, hashing away. I already went through the trouble of overclocking it, so we're not going to be doing that in this video. It's just going to be straight how I have it set and how I'm going to leave it. So it's hashing away really nicely. I'm very happy with what I got. I feel like I got a pretty good one. I didn't have any thermal throttling issues like some have had with their 3080s. I know Red Panda had some issues with thermal throttling on his Gigabyte ones and had to do a thermal pad mod where he put thermal pads on the back, right underneath the back plate, to help disperse the heat, to help it from throttling. I didn't have to do that on this card. Maybe if I did change the thermal pads and do that mod, it would help. I think there's already pads in there in between it, but it's not throttling, so I didn't dig too deep into it. But I'll show you the actual rig right now, and we'll walk around how I have it set up. So here's the rig as it sits. It does have my 1070 on it, and that's on a riser. That's still SATA powered. I know it's not great, but it's working. And you can see a little fan down there that I propped up. It's hooked up to the motherboard. It's pumping away at 100%. And you can feel the air. It's not a huge airflow on it, but it's something to help hit that back plate to help cool it down some. And there's the 3080 Tough. I mean, awesome card. Great looking. It's one of my favorite 30 series cards. I have a 3060 Ti Tough. You can see it down in there. You can see it's right on the motherboard. It has a slight slant to it, which I don't like because I don't have anything to mount to it. Since it's really just sitting stationary, it shouldn't be a big deal. But it is powered by a 1300 watt G2. A little bit overkill. But like I said, it's on Windows, and we'll go inside the computer in a second and check it out. It's on Windows, on nicehash. So that's it on the rig. Beautiful card, but let's go inside the computer and check it out. So here we are inside the rig now. I'm remoted in, and you can see 99.02 mega hash a second at 224 watts. Pretty good efficiency, and my overclock settings here. So the whole rig is saying it's going to get $13 a day. We'll go through that on what to mine instead. I'll pull these numbers aside, and we'll calculate it. So right now my memory junction is sitting at 94C. It usually sits at about 90, but I have the fan shut off right now. That's pulling cool air into my office from the outside. So this was hovering around 90C. When I got in here today, it was around 84 to 88C. So I'll turn those fans right back on after I'm done filming this. I just didn't want all that background noise. My overclock's here, so I'm at 70% on my power limit, negative 200 on the core, and plus 1300 on the memory. So a lot of miners sit here around plus 1300. I might be able to go a little bit higher, but I didn't want to push it too hard because of the memory temperature hitting the 90s. But if we go down here, I was not throttled at all when I was mining. So a couple of these at the max say it got throttled, but a lot of times when people are mining, this was just straight throttle. So right now it's not throttling. I did notice this switch over to Octopus once on my 3080, so I actually shut that off because it's not as profitable. So I don't know if that's when it throttled, but since then I've noticed it's been pretty solid. I haven't noticed any decrease in my mega hash. Usually I get a slightly higher one Not too much though. I don't break 100, but usually when I'm not remoted in, it's slightly higher. But let's check out some numbers though now, as far as what ETH's trading at. So Ethereum's, because what we're mining, is trading at 1726 right now, according to Coin360 is what I use a lot. But if we go into what to mine, plug in 99, and then 223 watts is what I'm using at 99 mega hash. So we calculate 973 a day is what I'm generating just out of my 3080, and then profit of 893. So I have the numbers plugged in here into my Excel sheet. So I'm just doing the 3080. I'm not going to be going crazy and going throughout the whole rig cost like I did before. So I paid $950 for this 3080. If you guys remember, I bought an Xbox Series X, but I traded that plus $450. So I was $500 into the Xbox, and I added $450 on top for the 3080. So it totaled $950 for me. So my gross earnings of $973, plus I calculated it out, is costing about 81 cents a day in electric. So not too terrible out of 3080. So my profit for the day would be $892, making my ROI 107 days. So we're looking at just over about 3.5 months to ROI on this. Not too bad. I mean, if you build a rig of these in 4 months time of mining, and if it stays at 1700, above 1700 per coin, very good ROI on this. That's very quickly, and you'll be making money fairly quickly after that. So there you have it. Finally got my 3080 on the rig. It's been mining for over just about 24 hours now. It's been going pretty solid, still holding 99 mega hash a second pretty steadily. 223 watts at the card. That's pretty standard for what people are getting out of them. You know, I've seen people getting just over 100 mega hash a second. Eventually, I do plan on getting it onto a rig on HiveOS. Same with my 1070. I don't plan on keeping them on this test bench. And I also plan on getting them off of nicehash. I want to take my test bench completely off of nicehash, I think. I'll make a video on that when I change from nicehash on my test bench and on my 3060s. I just have to decide what miner I'm going to use. Most likely T-Rex. But you know, there's some other miners I could choose from, like Nano Miner, or even Phoenix Miner still works. But you know, like to see how you guys are doing. Your 3080s, if you have any running, what overclocks you're using, maybe some settings I can tweak to get it a little bit better. But like I said, right now with the memory temperature, I don't want to get too high. I know they can run it 100 degrees Celsius fine, but I don't want to just keep pushing it and pushing it. I don't want the card to degrade too quickly over time. And I'll also get the fan back on in my office to help cool this room down, to get them cooled down a little bit quicker and help the other cards stay a little bit cooler. But you know, thanks for checking this video out. Make sure you hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Stay tuned for more.